I have new information to share with you this evening about the assassination of Turning Point USA CEO Charlie Kirk. President Trump and the First Lady have left a message. There's also a law enforcement expert and sniper that weigh in on what happened. Also, the FBI says they have some foreign leads. Let's go ahead and listen to this message from President Trump directly from the Oval Office.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory. May God watch over his family, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Okay, so I thought it was important that you hear what President Trump had to say directly from the Oval Office. He doesn't do those Oval Office right to camera messages very often. Sadly, the assassin is still on the loose. It looks like this may actually be a professional. This is definitely not a child up on a roof somewhere. Let me read to you what First Lady Melania had to say. Charlie's children will be raised with stories instead of memories, photographs instead of laughter, and silence where their father's voice should have echoed. Charlie's life should serve as a symbolic reminder that compassionate awareness elevates families, love, and country. The First Lady always has a way of saying things that are so kind. All right, this is what we're learning tonight. They've taken 2 people into custody. Both have been released. One is a crazy Democrat, anti-Republican person, but seems to be harmless. The other was a young man that fit the description, but his family was able to prove that he was in the crowd. So there's no way it could have been him firing. He was 25 feet from Charlie Kirk. There's video of him. He loved Charlie Kirk. They checked his computer, all of that, everything checked out. There was another person pulled over with a rifle. There's no way that they could have done that. So now the FBI, as of right now, does not have a person of interest. However, the FBI put out a memo this evening saying that they have a few solid leads based on foreign intelligence. Now, I don't know if this means that a foreign intelligence has told the United States a foreigner came into America and did this, or if they're saying we picked up chatter and intel over the wire and we are sharing that as an overseas intel partner with our partners, the United States of America. So as I know more, I will definitely share more with you on that front. Right now, I want to read, this is from somebody with a lot of experience saying there is absolutely no doubt that Charlie Kirk was killed by an intelligence-grade assassin. This was not a crazy leftist or some random civilian. A well-placed shot from 200 yards out, down angle, from a rooftop directly in the neck. Precision like that doesn't come from a protester with a grudge. It comes from someone who's drilled with a 1,000 times under military glass. Whoever is behind it, this was a highly skilled marksman who had logistics, support, and funding with a well-executed retreat plan. Absolutely nothing feels right about this. And I've been thinking about this a lot, and this made me horrified to go back and do on your behalf. But I watched the killing in slow motion, and this person must have been watching his mannerisms where he was laying down the microphone and then leaning back, leaning forward, making a comment, leaning forward. They knew how he behaved. So as soon as he came back, boom, a 1-inch hole blown right through the carotid artery. It would be very hard to precisely hit right through the carotid artery over 200 yards away. Now, as much as I hate giving CNN any kind of publicity, they did have a top law enforcement with experience in this area on. And so I wanted to share this with you guys because I'm not an expert on this, but listen to this.
Obviously, there's a lot of questions about what's happening with this investigation right now, given what we are now hearing tonight, this update from the FBI director that they have released this person of interest who was in custody.
So it's been a fast-moving investigation, but also one with some false starts. Caitlin, you've got an individual who went to a rooftop dressed in dark clothing, found a sniper's perch, and made a very long shot, a single shot that resulted in this assassination. Reviewing security camera video, they found someone who had similar clothing who was in the area. We don't know the full details of how they got from that video to that individual, and had that person in custody as a person of interest, and determined that in their belief, this was not the shooter. That brings them back to square one. We refer to it as a manhunt, but you know, in the manhunt, as you and I most often talk about them, it's you know who the person is and you have a dragnet out searching for them. In this case, there is another person of interest, but that's again someone that they want to talk to, someone they want to investigate. but not someone that they have enough evidence on to charge right away. So this is a very difficult case for the authorities in Utah and the FBI.
So is it clear if anyone is in custody right now, or is the answer still no based on what we know so far?
Based on what we know so far, they have somebody they're interested in who, according to my sources, when I last spoke to them, was not in custody. But, you know, in a case like this, you're looking for someone who has detachment and a lack of empathy, who likes to be in control. The offender characteristics of the assassin sniper are something that's been studied very closely, especially by the Secret Service. And it's someone who's methodical and patient, self-reliant. In other words, Caitlin, this is the kind of person who would have planned to get in silently, try to be invisible, take this shot, accomplish the mission, take the gun with them, and leave little evidence behind, which is why I think they're having a very difficult time getting started on this. This is someone who was a planner.
And John, also what stood out to me from what we heard from officials earlier was they said it was a single shot that was fired. It wasn't multiple shots in Charlie Kirk's direction. They said it was about 200 yards away from where he was sitting under that tent. What does that tell you about the person's familiarity with firearms?
That tells you that the person is not new to shooting, that they understood exactly what type of long rifle to bring, what kind of optics in terms of scopes and sights to have on that, what the windage was that might affect a shot from that distance. This is someone who knew exactly what they were doing and is probably known to others, and this may be working to the advantage of law enforcement, as someone who has a long history in shooting.
Okay. So for the last several hours, I've been telling family and friends, I do not believe that this was like the situation in Butler where it, you know, looks like a teenage boy. I believe that this was a professional hit job. This was meant to send a message to Charlie Kirk followers, Trump followers, Republicans, conservative podcasters, the like, letting all of us know that I can take you out and I can disappear. So I wanted to share that with you. Now, President Trump, Governor Ron DeSantis, and Governor Cox of Utah, they are all calling for the death penalty. Utah is a death penalty state, and based on the elevation of this particular case, it would not shock me once they catch the person if they don't push for the death penalty very, very quickly and possibly even in a public manner. Now, I don't want people to lose any hope. After the Boston bombing massacre that happened many years ago, it took 4 days, 106 hours for the FBI to track this person down through cameras, video cameras, cell phones, building cameras. So I have not lost hope just yet. But as of right now, this is a tragic shooting where they've been able to sneak away. Let me let you listen to the governor of Utah.
This is a dark day for our state. It's a tragic day for our nation. And I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination. The investigation is ongoing. But I want to make it crystal clear right now to whoever did this, we will find you. We will try you. And we will hold you accountable to the furthest extent of the law. And I just want to remind people that we still have the death penalty here in the state of Utah.
Okay. Lots going on. I'll be on tomorrow. I'm going to share the interview with Josh Hammer because as Charlie Kirk was going through this tragedy, he and I were talking about how people like Van Jones and CNN and others, how they were exciting people against Charlie Kirk, saying that he should be ashamed of himself. And we go into some other great topics. So I will release that. Good night. Thank you for being with me on this terrible day. allowing me to be a source of truth and news for you guys. Please stay amazing, sleep well, and we will see you tomorrow.